Good afternoon, Lauren. How are you today?
I'm good.
Good, good. Thank you so much for allowing me to record this portion of the interview. So I'd like to just go ahead and get right to it. I see that you've got some really great experience on your resume. So now I'm going to give you an opportunity to talk a little bit about what you've done in the past. So tell me about your office and admin experience, where you worked, what you did, and what a day looked like for you.
I'll go back to Fairfax County Fire and Rescue Department. I worked in their revenue and records branch, and I had a couple of different duties there uh, with FOIA requests, fulfilling those, giving blueprints to the back office, having customers pay their invoices and get receipts for that, and just helping at the front desk. And I did enjoy that job, but I ended up moving, so that's why I had to leave there.
Okay. What about your computer skills? Did you use Microsoft Office when you were there?
They did not use that back then. I can't remember the software system that they did use, but it was fairly easy to pick up. I had very good training and I caught on very quickly.
Okay.
And I do have a good reference there that I could get you if you need it.
Okay, great. And since then, it looks like you've done some sales positions. Were you also doing some admin work in between that in those positions where you were using Microsoft Office?
So not as much. We use more of the car business software programs, ADP, CRM,
Mhm.
and a couple of others that I could mention. Get that for you at a later time. But it was a
Okay.
lot. You had to have great organizational skills. You had to really be able to follow up with customers and stay on top of your game with that, so nobody would slip through the cracks. So you really had to be able to multitask in that business.
So how many years of sales experience would you say you have?
Oh gosh, probably about 9 or going on towards 10.
Okay. 9 years sales experience. All right. And so tell me a sales success story,
Well,
a big win.
back when Obama had the Cash for Clunkers, I was
Mhm.
Salesman of the Month in August. I believe that would have been 2009, 2008 or 9. And I believe I was the first female to get Salesman of the Month over at Saturn of Daytona. We all know what happened to the demise of Saturn, but it was a really good send off before they went out of business. So that was quite an accomplishment for me. And also something a little more personal was I was unable to close a deal on a Volvo to a gentleman. His wife went and bought a BMW wagon without telling him. And he actually sent me a thank you letter with $100 check to
Oh
thank
my
me
goodness.
to thank
For
me
your
for
time.
my efforts. And that hasn't happened since, but it was definitely memorable. It's just let
Wow.
you know you were doing something right when you make that kind of an impression on a customer
Sure.
that didn't even buy from you.
So, how do you handle when you're working? Like, do they have KPIs that you had to manage, like your key performance indicators?
Yeah, we would have monthly meetings. There was also a Subaru franchise as well, Volvo and Subaru in Melbourne. And they would come in once every month and they would look at your closing percentages and look at the CSI scores, or they would sometimes contact customers and get their opinion or review of their experience with you, even if they didn't buy. And we would go over that monthly and see where we could have room for improvement. It was always focused on improving the customer experience, and
Okay.
while still having profit.
Okay. And how did you do when they were reviewing that? Like, do you feel like
So
you were in the upper echelon? Were you in the mid
yes,
range?
definitely, and especially when they added Subaru, I got some really good raving reviews with the
Okay.
gentleman from Subaru, because my closing percentages were higher than the national averages. So um,
Okay. Awesome. So, would you say you're a closer?
sometimes I need a little help when it's a really tough deal, but I'm really able to. So the big thing with me is that I'm able to really befriend the customer early on and set a really good rapport with them. And if I
Okay.
can't close it, I know I always would TO the deal and get a manager involved to get that sale if I wasn't able to
Okay.
do it on my own.
Okay. Great. All right. Let me go ahead and stop the recording now. But don't hang up. We got some other things to chat about.
Right.